It's your boy, the one, Joey V.
This is Boss Dog Cigars.
This is Quentin Moore chilling in the Cigar Lounge. Have a drink with your boys and tune in. Yeah.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Cigar Lounge and Podcast. I'm your host, the local hero, here with two special guests. Eventually, my co-host gonna be on, but he's gonna be a bitch. So we introduced my two special guests. We have Cigar Temptress right here. And we got Lexi right here. I don't know what order he's going to put it in. So I'm just saying right here because he can, decides where he puts the heads at. So I'll just say right here.
Heard that.
So what are you ladies smoking?
So I am lighting up a V coffee. It is, I got this in the Dominican Republic from a couple of the stores. And it is a factory in DR where I have partnered with to create my own blend. And so these are not sold here in the United States. I brought these over from the Dominican Republic. It has a very nice nutty coffee flavor to it, or notes, if you know. I said flavor, sorry, but it's notes. And I'm toasting it right now.
Okay.
Well, I'm having a Millennium, and it is, we have a lounge out here. It's called Platinum Cigars out here in Miami, and they just launched it. This one is a Habano, Nicaraguan filler and binder. Their stuff comes from the Placencia farms. So honestly, so far, so good. The light it's good. So I'll let you know as I go.
Okay, cool. So we're going to be asking you that. All right, so let me ask you two ladies, because we talk all the time. I know y'all background, but for the people who don't know your background, let us know where you're from, and how do you get into cigars?
You start, Lisa. So I'm from Miami, Florida. My background is Cuban. My parents came when they were young. My mom came when she was 15. My dad, I like to tell everybody, he's a Cuban redneck. He came when he was 7. Born and raised in the county of Dade. I haven't lived anywhere else but Florida. So basically, I got into cigars because of one person and one person only, and that's my cousin Alex. It's all his fault. And I have to say shout out to him, because I think I wouldn't have been able to meet the amazing people I've met in this community. And, you know, like anything, everything has its good and its bad, but I honestly can say that I've been overwhelmed with the love and support that goes on in this community. You know what I mean? So that's how I started smoking. I started smoking because of Alex. I do the cigar rolling events for Tampeño Cigars. So, you know, and then one thing led to another. I started smoking with Alex. It all started with a Connecticut. I didn't like it. I told him I don't like it. He's like, try mine. I tried his. He got stuck with the Connecticut and I smoked his. So I'm more of a medium to full body chick. And then like that, slowly started with just the cigars and started with, okay, maybe I am going to do, try to get events out here. So we've done corporate weddings, you know, things like that. We have a good cigar roller that's been in the industry for 35 years, used to roll in Cuba for my Julieta. And I really enjoy that. And then, you know, started like with you, you know, when you have your things going on and just helping and supporting everybody, you know, because I feel like that's the best part about this community. It's the love and the support that everybody gives each other. It's my favorite part. So anybody got anything going on, there you see me posting into the stories, and you know, it's the beauty of this family. That's what I'm going to call it, family. Right. That is beautiful. And Lisa's right, it is family, you know. For me, I want to say, you know, I like to say it started with my grandmother. But in all honesty, I'm new. I'm a newbie to this world. I just started smoking 3 years ago. And it was, you know, a brand new.
So I'm not as versed and as in depth as Lisa is. And, but either way, we can still have really deep, dope conversations because we both have the same passions,
Absolutely.
But how it started for me was my then friend, who is now my partner, he's an avid smoker and he's been smoking for years, for over 15 years. And, he says, well, do you mind if I smoke a cigar? I'm like, no, just, it's kind of, I don't like it. Yeah. He's like, you know what? Why don't you try one? Before you say you don't like it, try it. Like, unless you try it, you can't say you don't like it. So as with everybody else, most people, they start you off with a blondie. And I was like, okay, it's sweet. Reminds me of my grandmother. My grandmother was a tobacco smoker and she did the pipes and she used to roll her own cigars. And as I started learning more and more about my family history, it was already in me. So I'm the first U.S. born citizen in my family. I'm of Dominican descent. And my father's side of my family, both my parents were born and raised in the Dominican Republic and they're immigrants. But my dad's side of the family, they were farmers. They were tobacco farmers. My grandpa used to roll cigars. My grandmother used to roll her own cigars. My father used to pick the leaves and help dry them and pick the worms off of them to make sure that they were good for sale. So it was already in me, if you want to go that far back. I just didn't know it until I started researching and finding out like, whoa, wait, I actually did like this. Now the blondie wasn't my thing. It was like, okay, it was sweet. But in 3 months, I went from 0 to 100, meaning I went to an LFD right away in 3 months. Who does that? That's not known. And I went to a doble ligero immediately.
Got to.
My palate, that's what my palate craved. Like, so I'm more of a bold. I like medium bold. And as I'm researching and learning more and more, it almost became a lounge game between my partner and I. He would give me a different cigar to try, and he's like, okay, what are the top 3 notes you find? I had no idea what I'm smoking. I had no idea. Mm-hmm. For the most part, I consider myself a beginner smoker. I've only been doing this for 3 years. And I could still pick out the first 3 notes in any cigar that you give me, blindfolded. And he'll look them up and he's like, your palate is crazy. What is going on with you? Like, it's one of those things. Mm-hmm. So as I go to different lounges, talk to different tobacconists and attend different events, I just found this passion for it. And just, I found this community and I found people like you, LH, and people like Lisa and just everyone else in this community and decided to start a subscription box because I didn't want people to go through what I went through. And here, your first cigar should be a blondie. No. So we developed this subscription box. So you know what? Here are different cigars. This is what's in them. You try it. You figure out your palate. It's meant for the beginner.
Yeah.
And that's how I started, and that's what I'm basing my business around.
So basically, you did that. So hopefully, they won't have to go through that. I feel you.
Right. Like, why start with a blondie?
Bars.
Not that there's anything wrong with a blondie. I mean, there's something for everyone. But like, why start everybody with a blondie?
What type of soft punk ass dude would smoke a blondie? Who?
I actually know a few people that smoke blondies.
I do too.
Like,
I do too, and that's why I said that.
He's currently making a direct shot at me, is what he's doing.
No.
That's currently what he's trying to do.
We know that smoke stuff. Oh man, I'll see you right there.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Y'all familiar with me and Ken, bro? That's my brother right there, B1. He's on the show sometime. He's a vampire. Those are very interesting stories. So let me ask you guys this, right? did y'all notice when y'all first started going to lounges, like y'all got like looks like, what are they doing here? Who are they? Well, you know the looks.
You're asking me?
I'm asking both of y'all. Like, did y'all get those looks? Like, why are they here? What did they? Or did you get did you feel invited to the first lounge you went to?
So the first lounge I went to, I went with a gentleman. I was invited in, and the person I went with, he was very respectable. He was very, this is what it is. This is that. This is this. This is lounge etiquette. And it was a very nice experience. When I went by myself and the tobacconist that I knew was not there, it was not as pleasant.
It's a different story, yeah.
It was a little bit different. And it was like, oh, and do you know what you're smoking? And do you what is it that you like? Like, but it was like a lot of double entendres in there, a lot of double meanings. And
yeah.
Okay, so they just basically became like really condescending when you went back that second time, like you knew nothing. Like you don't belong here.
Like you don't belong, or like you don't know what you're doing, or which, you know what? I didn't know what I was doing, but I didn't need it thrown in my face either.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know what you're doing, but that's what they here for, to help you.
Right.
And I mean, that kind of makes you not want to go there. Like it makes you not want to go back. Cause you're like, I'm just trying to go out, relax, have some fun. Like I don't need this. Like I don't need this.
Exactly.
I mean, we ask you all the time, what the fuck you doing here? Anyway, Lisa, so what about your experience?
Still haven't quite figured it out yet.
Honestly, my first time into a lounge had happened because I was in a shopping center where my daughter was getting her lashes done. And I noticed there was a lounge there. I was like, oh shit, okay. So I went over there. It was so welcoming. It honestly was very chill. And I went back, same type of treatment. The guy is super helpful. But then I have had where I've gone, because that's like my comfort lounge now, right? Mm-hmm. And then I've gone into other lounges. I'm like, okay, let's try it out. And I've walked into them and they you see the looks, kind of like, okay. Or you see them walking in and you're sitting down and you're having a cigar, and they're kind of like, okay, like, but then again, too, I'm in my own world. Sometimes I'll walk in with like a little resting bitch face, how I could get sometimes. So it's, I don't know, out here in Miami, I can't say like I've had a bad experience like that. They'll tell me, hey, can I help you with anything? I'll be like, no, I'm okay. I'm good. Sometimes I'll ask them to recommend something and they'll recommend, things for me, but I can't say I think I've had more issues on Instagram with douchebags than I've had at the lounges.
True. I would co-sign on
I
that.
like watching you smoke your stick. Well, I turn around and I give him shit, and then I'll be like, well, let me watch you smoke yours. You fucking punk.
Yeah.
That felt icky.
Yeah.
Or how big do you like it? How big can you go?
As big as you like it.
Do you like it big?
Well, good night, ladies and gentlemen.
That was a left turn I wasn't expecting.
Normally it's me, but somebody else this time, y'all. I just want y'all to know that.
Yeah.
You decided to bring us two together into this, okay?
And we're just getting started.
Exactly. We're like literally, how many minutes into this? Like, come on.
Yeah.
Set yourself up.
Yeah, I know I just got here and all, but y'all didn't tell me Mariah Carey was gonna be here.
I can't stand this motherfucker.
I would have put on my Sunday's best if I knew that.
Oh man.
I fucking can't, you guys.
But for real though, like, what do y'all like to pair with your cigar as far as the drink go? Or what?
I'm normally a bourbon girl.
Okay.
So I like a Manhattan if I'm doing a mix. but usually a straight bourbon. I keep at my comfort, at the lounge where I chill at. I have a Woodford in my locker.
Mm.
I do like a nice Buffalo Trace. I like the Kentucky. What's the Kentucky one? I forget the name right now. But usually a bourbon. I go with a bourbon.
Okay.
Or a single malt Scotch.
Knows her liquor.
Or a single malt Scotch. If I'm in the mood for that. But usually bourbon.
Okay.
Well, I'm not a drinker. You guys know I'm not really a drinker.
I mean, but you can pair it with any kind of drink, though.
Yeah, I pair it with water.
Hey, that works.
No, but actually, no. I must say, ever since I started hanging out with you guys ain't shit, by the way.
Don't you put that evil.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
But it's funny, because I actually said this yesterday. I was speaking yesterday, and I was telling somebody, I was like, hey, listen, I kind of get why people in the cigar world, a lot of people drink bourbon when they're smoking their cigars, because I had an old fashioned and smoked a cigar, and it makes the whole experience different. It really does.
Mm-hmm.
Like versus when I'm drinking water, I'm getting full blown, like, adding that drink does make a difference to your experience with the cigar. It really does.
It really does.
So I could understand. I always used to say I'm a light liquor girl. Like I was light liquor, light, vodka, like tequila, like
that's light.
Like
Wait,
yeah, but when I'm saying like light in color. Light in color. I've never been like never a Henny girl, never, so I always stayed away from dark liquor. Because I did get fucked up when I was younger on dark liquor, so I stayed away from dark liquor. But definitely, like, it is another experience when you have, like, an old fashioned or a Manhattan, like Lexi saying, and you're having your cigars. Mm-hmm. But overall, I'm usually water.
But like on a Sunday morning, where it's like Sundays are my chill days. I wake up at whatever time I want. I stay home. That's the day I usually have a morning cigar. When I say morning, like 11 a.m., coffee, just coffee. I like plain black coffee. I don't put sugar in my coffee or anything. And even that brings out other notes in a cigar.
Correct. Mm-hmm. I got to say yes, because when I do have my Cuban coffee in the morning, usually it's on the weekends, I'll have my Cuban coffee in the morning and I smoke a cigar. Yeah, just that shot of coffee stays, all that.
It
nice
opens
coffee.
Something up. Yeah. It opens it up.
Open up your goddamn adrenaline in your heart. Fuck.
Listen, that's me without coffee. Imagine.
Yeah, right.
I will say this. I had this week I finally got the plantation, and I apologize to my ancestors for drinking that shit. But it was good though. I ain't find shit called plantation. Fuck this shit. But I had it. It was really good. It really, really good with my cigar. So shout out to the people who make that drink. I'm not even gonna call it by its name no more. I'm just letting y'all know what it was.
I might have to find some of that out here.
You do. Well, you in Kansas, so I'm pretty sure there's a lot of plantations still left there with them races. Well, anyway, look. So what we talking about, right?
So whenever y'all smoking cigars and y'all not up here, with us, acting crazy or whatever, what type of music you like to smoke and drink to?
I love music, so I like to listen to it all. I could go and Kembro, so I could go from like old school R&B to freaking bachata, like or a reggaeton. It does, to me, it's just music in general is a whole fucking vibe. So
let me tell the people what she mean when she said, Kembro, these motherfuckers doing karaoke one night.
But she's right. It's all about the vibe. It's like, what vibe are you going for that night? Most, like, I can go old school R&B. I could do the jazz. You know, the other night I was listening to Isaac Hayes. You know, I'm doing Isaac Hayes, but then the next night I'm listening to Mark Anthony while smoking cigars. Like it's all about the vibe. Like what am I doing that night?
Yeah. True. All right, so rapid fire. First song you playing. As soon as you light your cigar up. Bam, come on, first song. Right on top of the head.
Right now. Like right now.
I don't know why Karol G just popped in my head.
I said Isaac Hayes, so I'm thinking going in circles.
Yo.
I study Stay Hyper, so.
I will say this. Thank you to Lisa, who was who was bullying people like, get your tickets for this. So
Lisa is the ultimate hype girl. Meanwhile, I'm like, chill.
Listen, all I'm saying is, if you guys need a bully, here I am. I'm up for hire. I stand out a whole 5'4".
Those be the scary ones.
I was saying, those be the terrifying ones.
The one that can't reach the top shelf is always the scariest.
Hey, well, you know they gotta be tough because you know they always the angriest.
I'm actually very happy.
Don't go at my girl like that.
Hey, no, they usually the angriest.
Let me tell you something. They could tell you I'm the happy-go-lucky one, but I can turn 0 to 100 real fucking quick.
I was just about to say she could be the one and she could be the meanest one.
Yep.
That's what I'm talking about.
One by one.
Yeah. Like it's not like I don't mix the personalities. I do them individually. Look at it's burning really nice.
Okay.
So far so good. It's burning really nice.
This one flowered up on me.
So speaking of that cigar, so Lexi, why don't you take us through your because you said you're working on something. I ain't gotta get too exclusive with it. But,
what happened?
You did go out to the DR, like you had a good time out there. How many cigars did you smoke in the DR?
I lost count. All I know is when we were out there and my voice got raspy. I had that smoker's voice.
And then my voice got raspy.
I did notice you did come back sounding like Jada Kiss.
And out there, it was every factory we visited. It was at least 2 cigars we smoked, at least. And then in the evenings we hit a lounge, and there was at least another 2 at the lounges. I think a day we were smoking about 6 a day.
Okay.
It was a lot. And then everywhere we went, because Dominicans love their coffee, and then they love to liquor you up. But then between the cigars, to clean your palate, they would give you soda water, or we call it seltzer water. And it's just like, yo, can y'all stop? Like, can we chill for a moment?
Break time.
Hell no.
How many
And we're meeting all these master blenders, and they're like, what, you can't hang? It's like, and I thought I could.
In theory, I thought I did.
I would.
On paper, it sounded good.
Yeah.
Now, Lisa, let me ask you a question. Have you been to Cuba?
I have. I've been to Cuba. I went 3 times. The last time I went, I was 15. I went when I was younger. I loved it. I really, really loved it. I never did the tourist thing. I stayed at family's house, literally like slept in the bed that had like the net on it so the fucking mosquitoes wouldn't get me, with a fan in the front. Like, I never did the tourist thing. I fell in love with Cuba. It's sad because it's a beautiful country that's just going through their shit, you know, but that's why I love Puerto Rico too, because Puerto Rico reminded me a lot of Cuba. Like,
and that's how I grew up in DR, you know, growing up in DR, that's slept in the bed with the net that, you know, you had to like tuck it in the bottom so no mosquito would get through in the evening. And
I would literally, and it was funny because my grandma thought it was hilarious. I would like to ride, so they call it carretón. So it's like a wagon, right? Like this long wagon, and it's pulled with the horses, right? And I would sit in the front with the guy just because I love horses and I wanted to be there, having the whole full blown experience, taking people like for cents, you know, and then jump off the freaking wagon whenever they were getting to their stop and stuff. Or actually, when I was 15, the last time that I went, they call it botella, right? So it's kind of like you're hitchhiking, but it's the hitchhiking there is kind of like the driver gets bomb rushed by a shitload of people, right? So you're like, everybody's waiting, a truck is going by, and then you just run and jump in the back of the truck, and then you jump off whenever you get to wherever it is that you're trying to get to as far as you're trying to get, you know? It's nice.
You do that on buses.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep my joke to myself.
You know, back in the days when we used to do it to the ice cream truck and shit like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, we did that shit on buses. My man fell off and bust this. Anyway, he cracked his egg. So the question is, would you go back now that you're able to experience it a little more?
Honestly, with the conditions, I wouldn't. I would love to take my kids to go see it. Not because I can be like, oh, okay, let's go see where mom was born because I was born and raised here, but more to see, their heritage. Just this is where everybody came from, and experience it. And my kids, they wouldn't be able to handle it.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be able to handle it. Listen, the first time I went to Cuba, I was 11 and I got sick with the water. Like legit sick, really bad. And, the kids nowadays, first of all, they're built different. This generation's built different. So I can't say that I would want them to experience that if it was back in the days when I went, when it was still kind of like, okay, it was still struggling, but they were okay. You could find shit in the stores, as long as you had dollars. Then yeah, but no, I wouldn't do it. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I would do it like a tourist to see what the tourists get to see, like that they love Cuba so much because all they're seeing is the tourist shit. I love Cuba because the people itself, like when you don't do the tourist thing, everybody is so united. Like, and unfortunately us here in the States, like we don't have that. As much as we are united to family, we don't have that unity that they have there.
They have community.
Exactly. It's so different. Yeah. It's just different. It really is.
They have community out there. You don't have that here. I remember I used to go to DR every year as a kid. I was that kid. Last day of school, that night, I was on an airplane down. Day before school started, I was on an airplane back. So I spent my childhood, like all of my free time in the Dominican Republic. And I wasn't doing the tourist stuff. I was out in the campos. I was, pissing in an outhouse like that. I was in the farms. I was going on people's roofs to steal the mangoes and the cherries and, going from rooftop to rooftop. And when I say it was a community, it's like, my cousins and I, we would go up the marquesina, the porch, go up on the fences and go from one house to another. And whatever fruit trees were in the neighborhood, we would eat all the fruit. And then the phone calls would come into the house and they will all tell on us. And it's like, were you stealing fruit? No, but yet our shirts were full of whatever juice of the fruit it was. The tamarindos, the cherries, the mangoes, whatever the hell we were eating. But it was community. It was community. It wasn't, it was like now. It wasn't, your kid is a delinquent, your kid is this. It was more like, yo, they're kids, this is what they're doing.
It's community.
We have our stories like parallel to each other because me and my brother ran on roofs too. I mean, we was running from the cops, but still we was on roofs too. It totally counts.
It was different. It was just different, like people looked out for you. You looked out for the other person's kid.
Mhm.
It wasn't.
That's how you used to be
I'm
here.
telling on you, or I'm calling the cops on your kid, or your kid is a delinquent. It was more like, yo, I'm looking out for your kid.
Yeah, we had that once upon a time here when my neighbors had permission to whoop my ass. About acting crazy. Like my neighbor and my mom was like that. Like they knew each other. We didn't have to lock our doors. We just walked right in each other's houses.
Yeah.
He's always invited each other to dinner. It used to be like that.
It used to be like that.
Or what separated it, but it changed. Well, I know what happened here with crack.
Yeah.
I know what happened down there. I can say what happened here.
Yeah, it used to be like that until, the new generations, they grow up and they become the parents and they don't keep the tradition going.
Yeah.
Because they didn't like the community that they was in. So they changed things, and then also you have, the powers that be, community is a big threat here. So you get too many people in a group, it is
a riot.
Too much shit. So we gotta keep
break that up.
But like my grandmother's backyard, when my grandmother moved from the campo into the city, her backyard, she lived in a what we call a triplex here. And so the backyard, it wasn't fenced. So you shared the backyard with all three houses. And my grandmother had chickens. The other two didn't have chickens, but if the chickens laid eggs on the other side, those ladies would bring the eggs back over to my grandmother. Now, do you think that would happen today?
Nope.
People would have their fences up. Nah, your chicken laid the eggs over here. Those are my eggs now.
I'm for the scramble these mugs. I'm
still these motherfuckers myself. We're gonna have fried chicken in 3 years.
Right. Why is your chicken in my yard? Like, community.
I mean, I'm happy if your chicken wander in my yard. Like, all right.
He's sitting in this window waiting for his opportunity too.
I'm just waiting. Make that brother.
I'm gonna call you barbecue.
No, it used to, like, for real. Once upon a time, it was like that, man.
It was respectful.
Yeah.
It's the fear of like-minded people, right? You got to think about it. How do powers that be stay in power? There's a bunch of like-minded people that come together that share interests. And once you get that ability, you can change things. So they don't want regular people to have that ability. We ain't got to be from the same area to have the same goal or the same wants or
values.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We
can come together as a group and express that, and we can make a change. So when you get the power to be like, oh shit, hell no, we can't have that. No, hell no. Like, put their ass over there. Like, I don't know how you do it down there in Miami, but in Chicago, it's segregated. It's segregated as fuck. Put the Mexicans over there, put the blacks there, put the Italians there, put the Irish over there. So
down here is different. Like, there's so many different cultures out here that it's just a mix everywhere. Like, yes, you do have like your more like black, like areas, and then you have your Cuban areas, and then you have your little Venezuelan areas and Colombian areas. But it's just like, okay, those numbers are higher in those areas of that nationality, or that race. But a lot of shit has changed out here too, though. Like what used to be the hood out here, it's like up and coming.
Gentrification.
So, because
gentrification, that's right.
Everybody hears, Wynwood and Midtown and shit in Miami. Yeah, you guys think it's cute now. That was the hood. Like if you're born and raised here, like that was the hood. So,
well, look in New York. Look at Harlem in New York.
Yeah, I mean, look at
Harlem is getting gentrified now.
A lot of
Brownsville.
Like Bronzeville's like that too. Bronzeville was all Harlem, and they did the same thing. They realized
Washington Heights is getting gentrified.
Yeah, we had prime real estate. It's like, damn, they got really good real estate. We just didn't want to be in the city. So now they're like, our jobs in the city. There's a lot of stuff to do in the city. Now we're going to move to the city and push them out. That's basically what's happening.
That's what's happening.
But if I go to Miami, I'm going on a motherfucking food tour. I'm going Colombian food this day. I'm doing Venezuelan. I'm down there doing soul food, Jamaican food. Going
everything.
down. I'm be
And
real. I'm
that's
be
why,
real,
like,
real motherfucker. Belly out.
I don't know. I feel like that's probably why I've never lived anywhere else. I just like I'm very big on and you see whenever anything like with the destination hers, like I promote anything that's in my city because I love my city.
Mhm.
Like I do. The diversity here, I love it. You know, it allows people not to be ignorant.
Well, I mean, I'm a New Yorker and I got priced out. So I moved to Pennsylvania. And you're not getting any more diverse than you are in New York. And I loved it. I loved it. You can find everything in New York. Everything and anything.
Yeah.
Loved it.
That's how Chicago is, because it's a lot of foods that's in Chicago that you be hard pressed to find anywhere else. So I be seeing a lot of people from Chicago that moves away from Chicago, like out of like miles away. And they sitting up here, I be seeing posts on Facebook, man, can somebody send me an Italian beef, a chopped steak, a blah, 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 a piece of all kinds of shit. You be like, see, I'm from the South. I'm from the South. I originate from the South. We moved up here. I was here for like when I was like a hand baby up to like second grade, then went back to the South and came back up here in sophomore year. And it's funny because like a lot of people in Chicago think like a lot of the food that's here is normal. So when they go out, they be like, why y'all got rib tips? Like most rib tips is mostly a Chicago thing. And then once you go out of Chicago, the further you go away from Chicago, the less of a chance you find rib tips.
We got something down the street though. Shout out to them. We got a couple of Chicago places, not full Chicago. Oh, let me ask y'all that. When it comes to like the foods you grew up on, right? Well, not you, Lisa, because you don't go no fucking. You love Miami. Look, I'm in the warm weather. I'm wearing a t-shirt. It's fucking cold out here. It's cold. You try walking your dog in a blizzard? Lexi, let me go to you.
Listen, I'm sorry. Like, what do you want me to tell you? Y'all chose to live.
Stay away from the yellow snow. Stay away.
When you went to VA, did you find it hard to like get the food that you're like accustomed to?
It was hard. So when I first moved out here, I moved out here 19 years ago. It was still a lot of farmland when I moved out here. And in the Poconos, this was honeymoon. This was known for honeymooners. This was the honeymoon capital of the Northeast. The heart-shaped tubs, the champagne glasses. That's what was here. Yeah. All you did was hiking 20 years ago. That's all. That's it. Nothing but farms and forest. Now that you have different ethnicities coming up and different, the migration from New York and New Jersey coming in and Philly and Maryland, like people are just coming in because housing is still inexpensive and you're pretty much central. Like if you think about it, you're central from everything. You're an hour and a half away from New York, an hour and a half from Philly, 2.5 from Baltimore.
About 3 hours from Pittsburgh.
Right, like 4.5 from Pittsburgh. Like you're in a good spot here in the Poconos, and you're still considered rural. It's still very quiet, very peaceful. But now you have all these ethnicities coming in. So a lot of those farmlands have been developed, and you have a lot of new construction, a lot of housing, and a lot of residences built up. So the area has gone up. With it, now you have different types of food. So I was just informed like last week that there's a Trini place that has good roti not too far from me. I was like, I got to try the roti because
definitely
roti, like
that's good shit. We got a bunch of Jamaicans.
I got to go back to Queens to get roti whenever I want roti, and that's that's a trip.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so like the food is coming. The food is, the Dominican food. Maybe about 8 years ago, we started getting some really good Dominican restaurants. Okay. The Puerto Rican food, the Cuban food is still, it's not like Miami.
Yeah,
but it's getting there, The Chinese food is coming, like it's getting better. Not what it was 20 years ago when I first moved in. So it's as the people come in, the food is coming with them. So it's changing. And even like we didn't have cigar lounges. Now we have 2 in the last 5 years.
Oh yeah. I don't know. That's when you move down, you got to think people was like, "Oh my goodness, this Chinese food. This is MSG. So spicy."
But think about it. Like with development comes progress and comes change, right?
Mm-hmm.
So as different ethnicities come in, you bring a piece of your culture with you wherever you go.
Now, I've been to the Pocono a while ago, and I did kind of make, like, they got the cigar shops there, but I was like, you would think that there'd be more cigar lounge because it's such a beautiful place to, like, it's not like smoking in the mountains. Such a beautiful place. You know, they got you get an outdoor motherfucking hot tub and smoke in the hot tub. Like, it's such a beautiful place. I thought it'd be more.
But why? But you just said it. It's so beautiful. Most people have single family homes out here. You have your own outdoor hot tub. You have your own deck. You have your own acreage. Why go to a lounge if you don't have to?
I'm getting cigars from the lounge, smoking them in the hot tub. Like
we only have 2 lounges.
I know. That's why I said I thought it'd be more.
That's why I'm starting my own. Get it?
Oh, okay. All right, go ahead. Go, girl.
Hey, that sounds like a plan.
Lisa, what about you, Lisa? What is your aspiration?
What is my aspiration? You know, within the cigar community, I can't really say where I'm gonna end up at. I've been very blessed. A lot of, let's say, like lately, I've been helping out Bella Dama. I've been doing lives with her and her Players Club giveaways every month. So I did that this month with her. I have, the events that I'm doing. I really enjoy doing the events, the cigar rolling events. With Destination Herb, with Jay, we've been talking about stuff. So there might be something that we've been talking about that might be coming up here in Miami for the ladies, which I think will be pretty dope because we haven't had anything like that out here. But as per saying, like, where am I gonna? I don't know. I know one thing I do love is to help everybody. And I don't know where that's going to take me. I know it looks like it's going to be opening a lot of doors for me. What's my final destination? I can't answer that yet. Yeah.
You gonna be? I can see you. I can see you being like a consultant. I really do. I can definitely see you being a consultant. Like I can see you not having necessarily not having a brand that you're attached to, but I can see like helping other brands. Like
a concierge.
Yeah, like we need your help. What should we do here? You like, Super Lisa, look, this is what you do right here. That's what you're doing. That's real. I can definitely see that.
Yeah.
You're doing it now.
She is doing it now. So your own. So start your I see Lisa. Like you said, LH, a consultant, and I said concierge to give it more of that luxury feel. And be you're an independent concierge, and you assist brands with brand awareness and branding and marketing and
growth
and event planning.
I can see that because I do find myself very fond.
Opening your own concierge firm.
I could see something like that. I'm very fond of boutiques. I lean a lot into boutiques just because I feel like, they're starting small. It's a boutique cigar. You know what I mean? So what better way than if I got a big ass mouth, why not fucking just talk shit?
I just told you here in the Poconos 20 years ago, there was nothing. This is ground floor out here. We only have 2 lounges. We don't have like this is
See, like I wouldn't mind a lounge, but out here in Miami, there's a lot of lounges.
Yeah.
And actually, they're pretty spread out, you know. So like you could find some a little bit everywhere. So I wouldn't mind opening a lounge. I just don't see it here in Miami. But like when it comes to my creativeness and stuff like that, and all my little ideas and everything that like. Yeah, you know, I could see maybe like, I don't know, partnering up with somebody and opening it somewhere else, not here in Miami though.
No,
Yeah, I don't see it, not here in Miami. It's I don't know, who knows, maybe.
I could see it already. Cigar concierge.
You're gonna get a business card made too.
And it just, you know what? And if it came to that, honestly, it would have to take, you know, because at some point you're no longer a one-man show.
No, I'll work with you. I'll partner with you.
And it has to be like anybody that
I'll be your Northeast extension.
You know, side by side with. Like you gotta be badass. You know, like you gotta like not just you know, like I'm not good. Honestly, I'm not good as a rep.
like you need somebody to match your energy.
Yeah, I'm not good as a rep. I'm not good like saying, okay, I'm gonna get, you know, I don't know, like you have to hit up all these different stores. Like right now, in this moment in my life, I'm not good for that. I'm good for talking to people if I need to talk to. I'm good with doing lives. I'm good with doing, you know, video conference calls and anything like that. But I don't have, like, I'm too busy. I'm always go. Like,
you're good at being a boss.
I am. I am. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna say no.
Well, that's it.
But it comes natural. It comes natural to me.
Mm-hmm.
So
you're good at delegating.
You lead a lot of charges, so yeah, I could definitely see you doing that. I actually don't be surprised if somebody hits you up in a couple of months. Be like, hey, I'll pay you this much. Get on the payroll to help me build my brand. I wouldn't be surprised.
Why do you think I just brought it up?
Yeah, I definitely would be surprised.
There's a reason.
Listen, I say, like my dad, I'm a jack of all trades. So, you know, you guys know what I do for a living, my Monday through Friday job. Yeah. But nobody that, if you don't know me, you don't know that that's what I do. Mm-hmm. Because everybody you see me, it's like, okay, it's a cigar temptress. You know, I'm on here, I'm smoking cigars. You guys have seen me in my work uniform, but nobody else really does. You know, right. So it's I can do a little bit of everything, and if I don't know, I know how to. Like, I'm a good learner, so I'm not anything thrown my way. I'm not scared to tackle. So where there's a will, there's a way.
Definitely. Always. All right, so you gentlemen got any more questions?
Yeah. So I don't know exactly how I want to phrase it, but we was talking about boutiques, right? So what is it about boutiques that drew you so much to it, or what was one of the boutiques that brought your attention to boutique cigars?
I didn't hear the first part of that. What was about boutiques that what?
What about boutiques that draw your attention to them, or what was the first boutique that caught your attention that made you really pay more attention to boutiques?
So I'm gonna have to say that it's the fact that they're the little guys. You know, I'm 5'4". I have a Napoleon complex. You know, so it's the fact that they're the little guys. They're not Oliva. They're not Plasencia. You know, they're not Arturo Fuente. So that is what drew me to that, because I'm big of like support local business type shit. You know, I'm big on that. It's the little guys. Why go to the food truck? Why are you gonna go to McDonald's? They're already millionaires. Like, go to that food truck. It's a local food truck. They're trying to build their shit. Like, why do you keep giving your money to the millionaires, the ones that are already millionaires? You know, don't get me wrong, nothing against any of those cigar lines that I just talked about, because I like them all. But if I have to say what boutique cigar made me lean so much towards them specifically, I'm gonna have to say it was when I met Belladama. When I met Chantel, and it happened like it was a giveaway that she was doing, and I happened to win the grand prize, and it was the membership to her Players Club.
Okay.
And then to see like how hard she works, like how she's trying to better her line, you know, make her brand, like, you know, and just that's what made me. I'm like, these people with boutique cigars are out here trying to get their shit going, because in this cigar community, when you're a boutique, you're either gonna make it or you're not. You're done. You know? Honestly, yes, first and foremost, you need to put out good product, right? You better put out a good stick. But it's not only the good stick. If you don't have the people behind backing up your brand as a boutique cigar, nobody's going to know who the fuck you are.
Right.
Nobody's going to know who you are.
I think with the boutiques, it's a little more passion and love in what they do.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
You know, it's more personal. So that definitely helps it stand out a little bit more. Absolutely. I mean, like, you know, why give a millionaire another $1 million?
Yep.
Right. So for me, it's around the same vein, but it came around a little differently. So I told you earlier, I'm kind of new to this world, right? I've only been in for about 3 years. A few months ago, I had to go down to New Orleans to pick up my passport. And across the street from the passport agency was this little cigar place. And I walk in and I get my LFD, and I'm talking to the owners, and they're Dominican. And it so happens that they know a friend of mine who's in the cigar business, actually the guy who developed this boutique, which at the time I didn't know he developed this boutique. And so, you know, as we're conversing, he gives me some of his cigars, and it's called Leoncio. And he's like, these are the ones I developed, and I developed it with Victoria, you know, my friend. And I tried it. I was like, oh, wow. And I was like, they're only sold here? He's like, no, I sell them in my Tampa store. And he has stores in Tampa, and he has stores in California, the different places where he's opened up lounges. Mm-hmm. And I was like, you could do that? So it kind of like sparked something in me. Mm-hmm. Reach out to my friend, and he's like, Alexa, I've been trying to reach out to you. I've been trying to, you know, I tried to send you a box, but it came back, and, you know, like it was an ordeal. Mm-hmm. So when I got down to the DR over the summer, I then find more boutiques. I'm like, whoa, completely changed my mind about cigars. Not that I don't like the AJ Fernandez's, not that I don't like the Auroras, not that I love them. They're great cigars. Yeah. But there's something about the boutiques. They're unique. And it's something about giving to the little guy. You know what? Let's give them a shot. Like, why not? I'm a little guy. I'm trying to do this. Why, I want the small businesses. They're a small business also. I'm a small business. Why aren't we supporting each other? It's the only way we're all going to rise. Mm-hmm. And that's how I came. And I'm like, yo, I want to deal with mainly boutiques. Okay. It has to be a balance. Has to be a balance.
Yeah.
Okay. So, with that being said, what do you think can make or break, the one thing that can make or break a boutique?
A bad stick.
A shitty stick. And you know,
And that's the problem, because it's so expensive to create a stick and to get it out and to get it shipped, to get it banded, like the entire process. Because I'm going through it now, and it's dollars. It's dollars. And if it comes out bad and you launch and nobody likes it, now that's what's in people's head. They're not going to want to try it again.
Yep.
Now you have to rebrand and reconvince people to try your stick again.
And you know, the fucked up part about it is, and being the exposure that I've been having in this community and meeting the people that I've been meeting. First of all, I started into this community with Tampeño cigars, you know? So Tampeño cigars, their newspapers, people love them. They're great fucking sticks, right?
I definitely like them.
But then you have, let's say, somebody, a normal person, like any one of us, wants to create a stick, right? But you're not well educated on that, right? And people, it takes time and money. Mm-hmm. You cannot say, I'm going to create a brand and have somebody saying, okay, I'm going to give you some stuff. I'm going to get some stuff made. I'm going to send it to you. If you're serious about this, you need to do this when A, you're financially ready for that shit. Okay. And B, when you're traveling to these fucking factories to see what the fuck they're rolling for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Not sit here in the States.
You can't do it here. You can't do it from here.
Wait. No, you can't. You need to put out their quality, right? For it to be successful. If you don't put quality out there, then people are going to be like, it's okay. It's okay.
It's okay.
You know,
it's okay.
And as a boutique, you cannot be okay. Listen, I met Greg from Fuerte Libre, right? Which now is going to be Fortaleza Libre. I met him when I went to DC a couple of weeks ago. And like I told him, his cigars, you know, and you know, that's the other thing with boutiques for me, is to see that passion and that dedication of these people into their brands. His cigars were fucking great cigars. They were really, really good. And I told him, and he gave me one. And the one that I smoked is one that he's going to release in February. And, you know, I asked him because I see he has no band. And then the other people that were with me, which was like my business agent, one of my sisters in the trade, and my partner, you know, I was like, dude, I'm not blowing smoke up your ass, right? Because you know me, like I'm always joking around. I was like, I'm really not blowing smoke up your ass, but this is a great fucking stick. Whatever love and dedication you put into the stick, it shows. This is a great fucking stick, right? So my partner's smoking, I want to say, I can't remember the name right now. And Greg, I'm sorry if you see this, don't hate me. But it has the yellow band. So I say, let me try it. So I trade cigars with my partner. And when I try that stick, again, a good stick. Now, the funny thing, it's a Connecticut wrapper, right? But it changes. And for me, that I'm not a Connecticut person, and I say it all the time, I'm not a Connecticut person, that was a really good Connecticut. Very good Connecticut. So it's that. It's the dedication that people with boutique brands put into the cigars. You could see that. If not, you're going to fail. Like putting $4,000 to start a brand and get your sticks made, that's probably not going to cut it, dude. Because if you really want to make it, that shit's going to add up by the time you're done with your marketing and everything. Because making the sticks is not as expensive as people think, right? But it's everything else that comes with it. Okay, and I say this because, like I said, I deal with George from Tampeño Cigars, right? I like to pick brains. I like to be informed. I like to be educated, you know, so I don't look like an asshole when I'm speaking. right? So I talked with Aragon, with Roydel from Aragon Factory. Roydel from Aragon, he has his online store, and his brother has a factory in Nicaragua. You know, so it's those things that you need to, you know, take the time to really make it successful. If not, you just blew your fucking money.
You blew your money.
You know, I'm sorry, but you don't want somebody to pay $13, $14, $15 for a stick, because boutique cigars would probably be a little bit more expensive, right? Because they're small, right? And that's okay. But do you want me to come back and buy them, or do you want just $15 from me?
Right. And that's what I was getting at. You know, this process, I'm in the middle of it. At this point, I'm traveling to DR every 4 to 6 weeks. I'm talking to the master blender, and I have an amazing master blender. He did the Preferido for La Aurora in 02, 03, and 04. Fidel Abreu, an amazing master blender. When I go talk to him, I make sure when he gives me a stick, when he blends something for me, he's like, okay, Lexi, you have to tell me what you like, what you don't like, what you want to see, what you don't want to see. Did you like this and that and the other? How should I blend the next one? What do you want to see in the next one? But I have to have those conversations face to face, and we have to do it together. Can't be over the phone. I can't go to DR every 6 months. It has to be consistent. Because once we get to that final stick, the one that we're going to put out, now it's production. Then it has to age. Then now we have to work on the band, on the branding, and then how we're going to get it here, and then the tariffs and the boxing and the this, and you know, how are we going to launch it? Are we going to sell it to lounges? Are we going to put it online only? All of that adds up.
And it's like let's say Lexi right now is working on something, right? If I tell Lexi, well, Lexi calls me, right? And she tells me, Lisa, okay, I want the first one to have a Habano wrapper, and I wanted to have Nicaraguan binder and Nicaraguan filler. I could send her all that shit, but that is not the blend, people. You would never know the blend of the cigar, not even the owners like that. You never really know what went. You never really know like that. All you know, the filler, the binder, the wrapper. Yeah. That's all you know. But there's more science to it.
There's a lot more science to it. You know, down to how much smoke you want it. Like, how smoky do you want it? I was like, yeah, it all depends on the leaf, the age of the leaf, and all that. Like, there's a science to it. Wow.
You know, because you could have a Habano wrapper with Nicaraguan binder and filler, but what if you want a different, like, flavor?
Do I want it infused? Do I want it infused in what?
If you want it,
how infused? You know, how?
It's like, how do you think people say, okay, this cigar has its earthy tones, leather notes, spices, right?
Nuts.
How? There's a science that goes into it. There's a science that goes into it. And if me, as like Lexi, if I'm gonna put out a brand that is gonna represent me, I'm not gonna put out a shitty stick. I don't care if it takes me 3 fucking years to come out with that stick. Because my stick is going to be to perfection, that I know if I don't like it, and that's the other thing too. Sometimes I have to like it. You are not you got to think, you got to like it. And then once you like it, now you need to perfect it for everybody else to fucking like it, because not everybody has the same palate.
Right. I have a very strong palate. So I already know my stick cannot be too strong. But it has to be something I like, though.
I mean, yeah, we hear that from every cigar maker we have on here. It's like, yeah, I got a couple sticks I don't like, but the people like it. I made it for the people. I can't just keep making cigars for me. I got to make it for the people, because the people are going to be the ones that buy.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's science is a balancing act as well. And I think also you got to have some good people around you that's gonna taste it and give you the honest truth. Like
Honest.
like,
Yep.
Yeah.
oh, this is it. Or this, you know, you can't have somebody you like, oh man, I like this. And they're like, oh yeah, then it's great, it's great. No, you used to be like, it's cool, but you know,
Yeah.
this next person. Yeah, you gotta have different people. Like, you gotta
Need a
have
little more
people that
detail.
smoke. Yeah,
And
you
the
gotta have people
thing
that smoke
is,
like
too-
people that smoke mediums, people that smoke, you know, full bodies. You gotta get that mixture in there.
Like all of you guys have been smoking for a while, and your palate guaranteed has changed throughout the years,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
you like medium to full body cigars, right? But I could hand you and say, here's a full body cigar, but your palate has changed to where maybe that cigar, you're no longer like, it needs to have a different to it for you to say, okay, this is fucking like, this is some good ass shit,
Facts.
you know?
Yeah.
Right.
Because I've been drinking longer than I've been smoking, and I've been drinking like alcohol more, and my palate changed throughout the years. My beer taste changed throughout the years, and throughout the couple of years I've been smoking, my palate changed from smoking, and the mixture of things, what to pair with what has changed as well. So that's very valid.
But even
And honestly, go ahead, Lexi.
I'm sorry, Lisa. I was gonna
No,
say,
go
but
ahead.
even like in the summer, I realized I don't like to smoke such bold cigars in the summer. I find them too heavy
Yes.
in the summer.
Yeah.
I go more medium.
I would like to, and you know, I think it's more, and I've been thinking about it more lately because, like I said, I'm not a drinker, but I would like to like sit down with a mixologist and probably like try different cigars with different drinks to kind of see pairings. Yeah, you know, like, okay, people have bourbon and shit all the time and a lot of shit on the rocks, but there is other drinks too, like maybe for me, you know what I mean? Like there could be a mixed drink. There could be whatever, I don't know. You know what I mean? Shit like that.
So I just told you I go more medium in the summer because in the summer I do cooler drinks.
Yeah, definitely. I do like summer shit,
You know,
and like
I don't-
mixture.
But even my coffee, I only have coffee in the morning. I won't have it in the afternoon. But in the afternoon, I'll have a frap, and a frap is a cold drink.
Yep.
So I'll have like a girl with no name or a sweet Jane with it versus an LFD or, you know, even a black diamond. I love black diamonds, but I won't have one in the summer. It's too heavy.
Yeah, I have one at night, not in the day, maybe at night.
Yeah. All right.
So your palate changes depending on even your mood sometimes.
That too.
Exactly.
If you ask me, that shit's gonna taste bitter as fuck.
Right. You know, but then you know, like I would have a vodka tonic. I would have a vodka tonic with something that's a Davidoff.
Yeah.
Something that's a little lighter.
If you're in a place where it's not like, again, the mood, like you said, the mood really affects it. You could be in a place having a great conversation, having a great time, and then you got to be a good cigar. And you be like, damn, this cigar is good. And then you go back to smoke it when you're not in that atmosphere. You're like, man, this tastes different.
It wasn't all that. Right.
Yeah, the mood definitely.
Those are facts. Those are facts.
I've done that a couple of times.
Those
Right,
are
so
facts.
before we get
Because
out
it's
of here,
happened to
though,
me.
I got one more question before we get out of here.
I got one more.
Well, you got two more questions. All right. What are y'all favorite lounge to go to? I know you said you got a home, but what's the name of it? Like, what's y'all favorite lounge to visit?
Bucharra for me, because that was the first lounge I went to, and it's very low key, you know, and kind of like hidden and stuff like that. I do have to say, LH, thanks to you, fucking Shelly's was the bomb.
Shelly's is great. It's great.
That lounge was fucking amazing. There was a lot of people in there, but it was just It was dope. It really was. And there is a lot of other lounges out here that I really want to check out. Like we have one that's called Tabacon that opened up not that long ago, a few months back. I haven't been able to hit it up yet. And next month when I go to the Destination Herf, I'm gonna be hitting the City Lounge, which is down in downtown Miami, which I'm looking forward to that because it looks really dope. You know, like, so I would have to get back to you on my favorites. Right now, I only have one.
Okay.
Honestly, so for me, the very first lounge that I went to before the renovation, Matador, I loved it. Low key, very low key, very, very cozy. After the renovation and it became loud and obnoxious and the music was loud and the dominoes, like I'm like, So I chill at home more now.
Okay.
When I travel in DR, not that I'm biased, but Capote in Santiago, amazing. The vibe is on point. When they have the live music, it's live music. When they don't, the vibe is really low key, very, very relaxed. It's a great atmosphere. When I travel around the States, because I do travel to different areas, like DC, I try to get Lisa to go to Jack Rose. Great. It's not a lounge per se, it's a whiskey bar. It's a whiskey library, but they have the smoking area upstairs. Oh, amazing. That's a nice. That's a really, really nice place. Yeah.
Lord is telling that place is nice.
Yeah, it's really, really nice. There was one that I hit in San Diego. Shoot, I always forget the name of it. It's in Gaslamp. The Cuban Cigar House, I think it's called. Or
of course, it had to have the word Cuban in it.
Yeah, no, but it's really authentic. Is
like
the best. Yeah, it's the best way I can describe it. It's small. The drinks are strong. The music is on point, and it's very. The lighting is dim, but not too dim. It's just real chill. You know, the leather.
Are you describing the lounge or you're describing me? What are you doing right now? Like,
both. I'm describing both.
Yes.
But it's in Gaslamp in San Diego. That actually, to be honest, that was the very first lounge I went to.
Nice.
The one in Gaslamp, and that one is nice. I like that one a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, but I would say DR is my top one. The one in DR, Capote.
Lexi's lounge is her favorite. Don't let her fool you.
The one that I'm sitting in right now. This is it.
Lexi's lounge.
What you got?
Oh, man, I wish you would ask your question last because that was a good closing. But back to the boutique situation. Okay, so we got our stick, right? We decided what's our stick of quality that you like and all that type of stuff. How important is the band?
I feel like it's very important.
Very.
It's like the
It's your brand.
in a plate of food.
It's your brand.
Okay?
Yeah.
If you go to a restaurant and you're going to pay a good amount of money for a plate of food, you don't want that plate of food to look like shit, right? Because you're paying for it. Boutique cigars are not cheap. So you want it to be appealing to the eye. And I'm very big on that. And a lot of boutiques that I've seen, I'm not going to say that has shitty bands, but that I feel like if they were to put a better band on,
The more unattractive.
Would have more attraction to their brand, to their line. Because listen, at the end of the day, what any human being, the first thing you do is this. You see everything. So if it's not
That's your
appealing to the
presentation.
eye,
Yeah.
I rather pay the little bit extra cents or whatever it's going to cost me to make sure that it has a good looking band, because you're willing to try a cigar that has a good looking band and then it turns out to be a shitty stick than trying a good ass cigar with a mediocre band.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's just like
Those are
clothing.
facts.
It's the way you walk out of your house.
Mm-hmm.
You walk out of your house with a t-shirt that's all stained and dirty versus a t-shirt that looks clean and is good and smells nice. Which one is going to attract people to you?
Yeah.
True.
True.
Same
True.
thing.
All right, y'all got
It's
any
your
more
brand. It's how you present yourself.
questions? That's very important.
Yeah, it's a lot of cigars that I probably would have never bought if the band didn't catch my eye.
Oh, I had a couple. Yeah, there's a few. All right, so it's been great having y'all on the show. We appreciate y'all coming on. Again, we had a great time as we always do here in the lounge.
Thank you for having me.
It was a pleasure being on here. If you guys, everybody that's watching, if this is the first time you come on here just because Lexi and I are on here and you want to be nosy to see what the fuck we're talking about, listen, subscribe, follow, because there's
Like
a lot
and
of
share.
good fucking content coming into the Cigar Lounging podcast. I don't know what y'all missing.
Yeah, we gotta
That's
keep it
true.
in.
Look,
Keep it in.
each one of them, characters.
To say the least.
And shout out to Rican for sending me such a great cigar. It's Sancho Pancho Double Maduro.
That's a good one.
Woo! My first
I've
time
had a Sancho Pancho. I've had one. It's good.
Yeah, good.
Listen.
You know what? They're good. And you know what? I don't really think about them though, but they are good cigars.
I gotta say, this cigar that I'm trying today, it's like really, really good. Like it's a good stick, and they just launched like maybe I think he said last month or something like that.
I'm about to get at you. I'm about to try to know.
Yeah,
I'm about to get at you.
Millennium. If you guys are out here in Miami and you're watching, check out Platinum Cigars Lounge. Very nice. They have areas 2C with chess for anybody that wants to play chess. It's really nice. I went by there because they're having a toy drive.
nice.
Yeah. Well, thank y'all for coming on. As always, I'm your local hero, reminding you to blow your smoke like a goddamn gentleman and gentlewoman. We out. Peace.
Peace.
Good night.
Good night.